Hello everyone, welcome to the first Steam match of the Mordheim Summer Tournament of 2017, organized by Marcus Kane. My name is Karond, and today we'll be looking at this group number 1, and the second game of Slaviour and Faro85, both players entering the tournament with this match. Slaviour will be playing the Cult of the Possessed, while Faro will be playing the Mercenaries. Slaviour is a veteran of these kind of tournaments. He has been playing in every single tournament so far, and in the last level 10 tournament he reached the semi-final. So naturally we will see him as a favorite, not only in this match, but as a group favorite. We can expect him to go probably towards the quarterfinal at the very least, where he has a tough draw, probably ending up with Talon here. And if he gets through that, he could go all the way to the final. He's a solid player, and we're looking forward to see what he has up his sleeve for this game. Faro85, meanwhile, will be entering this tournament for the first time playing in the level 10 tournament as well. And we do have some high hopes for him, though, as Marcus Kane, the tournament organizer, has touted him as the rising star among the newcomers. The newcomer in this tournament that will take us all by surprise and go pretty far in the tournament. And we will see how that kind of sponsorship from Marcus Kane will turn out. We are probably having him as the second favorite in this group, which means that this might be the decider of who wins the group right from the bat. We will see how it turns out. No matter how it goes, it seems that Kittenpaw has already played Quist, so the winner here will go to the winner's match and face Kittenpaw, while the loser will be forced to go down into the loser's match and face Quist in a win or go home kind of game. So it's very important to win here. If you win here, you get at least a third place. So with that said, let's not delay anymore and get into the game as soon as possible. They are right about to start. Alright, here we are. It seems they have gotten the marketplace, and we don't see much else right now. We are watching the game from Slaviour's viewpoint, and it seems like he has troubles with his sound, and he's divided up into 3 groups, as you can see. On the top left, we see the morale, which are very similar to each other. And I don't see anything indicating what kind of deployment ended up for Faro85. But we'll jump into this and see what happens. Slaviour checking out the stats of that archer, and it seems like Faro85 is also scattered into 3 groups. And this could be a very interesting game, because if you remember from the campaign, if you played it this far, stepping onto any one of those green puddles gives you quite a bit of damage, and damage that continues on for a few turns as well. Pretty much like poison or burning oil. So you really don't want to end up in the center, but the center is the quickest path to actually get anywhere, otherwise it's too great a distance to go somewhere. And this could be good for us, because it seems like we could get a sort of skirmish game where a small group faces another small group and they are not linked up together. That warlock from Faro85 is going to be really dangerous, though, especially if he has extra range on him, which he probably does. Slaviour seems to be fielding a Doomweaver, 2 Marauders and a Possessed, as well as, let's see what it has. We see at least 1 Brethren, some Dark Souls. One thing we can quickly pick up here is that Slaviour has an advantage in initiative, which means that he gets to move almost with every single one of these units before Faro gets to move any of his, as you can see right now. He's placed almost everything of his, and Faro has only placed one archer. Or marksman as they're called here. As well as the warlock, of course. Putting the Magister next to his 3 heroes is a pretty good choice for Slaviour. It means that he can buff all 3 of them with Weapon of Destruction and then send them loose. And that's probably what he's gonna do. We saw a captain, we see a wolf priest and a warrior hero, as well as 3-4 normal warriors. So Faro85 has 1 marksman henchman and 4 warriors, focusing on melee here, with a warlock and a warrior hero, and that means that does he have an ogre maybe somewhere that we haven't seen yet? We've only seen the captain and the warlock as well as the warrior hero. So what other kind of things do Faro have up his sleeve in the hero department? I will see. Round 1. It's a little bit shame that we don't get to have any kind of sound. I think Slaviour has done something with his settings, because we've tried this a little bit before, and every other person that we can record has always had sound on them. But at least we're happy to see Slaviour's game. It's the first time he's being broadcasted, to my knowledge at least. Try to look for an angle to fire and then move back, no doubt, as the warlocks tend to play it. Armor Fleet is a great spell. It decreases the amount of movement that these characters have, as well as their dodge chance, which doesn't seem to be too applicable here, but still nice. Why is he casting that twice? I didn't look too closely on the magic resistances. Maybe he succeeded on a few there. One thing that we can quickly pick out here is that one of the great hallmarks of a really good PvP warband is that the initiative ladder is pretty concise. As you can see here from Slaviour, he starts out at 73 initiative and he probably ends there at 63, which is pretty compact and good. While Faro has his units divided up, and that's never a really good sign. It means that you're more often picked apart, and that's the most common mistake that newcomers always do in these kind of tournaments. And if you want to go really far in a tournament like this, you need to address the initiative situation. Having all of your team act as one unit, one after the other, gives so much more combat power that it is insane. You can set up all kinds of things doing just that. So being behind on this particular part is a weakness for Faro85 that I'm sure that Slaviour will capitalize on here in a moment when he gets to move. On the other hand, you can see it a little bit like Faro85 is indeed having all of his warband acting after one another, because a few of them acts first, then the entirety of Slaviour's warband, and then the rest of his. So they are sort of combined a little bit, but the strength of deciding that order is always in the hands of Slaviour here, because he can set up so that he has a few henchmen or something that attacks first and killing off parries and dodges and sidesteps and web of steals, and then the real heavy damage units comes in play. We see a stun here, a little bit lucky, but nonetheless useful, and we see another ranged hero from Faro85, down to half health now for Slaviour, and there his first turn. Let's see what he can do here. Still, what is his fourth hero? He doesn't want to engage those, I feel. But he can't just move left and get the two warriors on the marksman. He needs to address the situation with the range and support the marauder in top there. So what will he do? One idea is probably going with everything up to the center of the map, and because those two warriors are movement 5, you see it, one of them is movement 5, so they might not ever catch up to them. So we could get an advantage there, but we will see. He is definitely going for the marksman if he can now. Yeah, he has found the marksman now. He wants to avoid the green puddle. That marksman is doomed now. He can never escape from that. You need space behind you to disengage, and this is not gonna happen for him. Adrenaline rush to get a third attack off, and then that marksman is almost dead. Might picked off with brethren here, probably. We see that the possessed has piercer and extra arm, as well as clawed feet, right? No, it's not clawed feet. He has something else. We will take a closer look later. Piercer is such a great skill. It's the kind of mutation that gives plus 12% hit chance, and of course you bypass parry, but the possessed already do that because they have to wear armbands. But it also gives minus 9% to range resist, which pairs pretty well with a headshot brethren. And you can see that this is a headshot brethren. He has that little skull in the options there, which means he can turn on headshots. So they pair pretty well together. Let's see what he does. Not sure what that was all about, but we can't really control what Slaviour is doing. We're just watching his game. And go with introspection for a third shot, which is a really nice tactic. I started using this tactic in the last tournament where I won, and it seems like it's gaining popularity because it was a very unpopular skill. And Slaviour himself actually complained that my archers were useless when they had exactly that kind of setup. And now he seems to have been copying that a little bit, which always brings a smile to me. That's a really good headshot. Unlucky. 40% chance and he rolled a 40. If you can stun that Warlock, that would be very key because the Warlock is a hit and run character, and at the moment it's gonna be really hard to catch up. But if you stun him, you can easily get there with one of your units. Maybe not these units, they have armor of lead on them, as you can see from the smaller blue circles. But he really wants to engage here. He wants to engage as soon as he possibly can. Alright. It is a nice combo that the Mercenaries have. armor of lead with range, meaning that you can't really catch up to them. Yeah, let's try and focus on the game instead. Quick casting, making it cheaper to cast spells. Gambling a little bit here. There we notified Marcus Kane. Another key feature of Slaviour's warband seems to be exhaustion, which is one of the best PvP skills in the game, no doubt. And he has it on almost every single hero character here. Order that's gonna finish off the marksman. And you can see that he has battle tongue because order costs only 3 red pills. Bit wasted, but he got it through. Shades of Chaos. Killing off any kind of special attack and making all of the basic attacks cost double. That's gonna take damage. It seems like Slaviour is focusing on taking down these units, which will leave his armor of lead units a little bit exposed for all of Faro85's range. But that seems to be a sacrifice he's willing to make, getting these 3 henchmen in exchange for his Marauder and his 2 Dark Souls. But that Marauder hasn't moved yet, the stunned one, so he's probably going to run away with that one as far as possible or seek protection from all of the damage, which will be pretty difficult considering that the Warlock can see through pretty much any kind of cover and hit him directly. And that's what's gonna happen there. But he's trying to catch up as soon as possible, and he has drawn first blood, so making sure that he can't disengage, although that's a little bit testy at times. Sometimes you actually can disengage from that. I'm not really clear on the angles in which you can disengage. Not. It seems like if you surround someone like that, they shouldn't be able to disengage or flee, but sometimes they still can, and it's all a mystery. To me, at least. Exhaustion on this unit as well. It is a very good PvP skill, and he's taking full advantage of that. Too bad on the casting there. Let's see if he suffers from a curse. Ouch. Overload removes any red pills from all of the targets. But it doesn't really matter for these warriors because they haven't had their turn yet. They're gonna get a refill of those red points. It mostly matters to people that Slaviour has, or Faro85 has used delay on. or in this case, the Doomweavers himself. Clawed feet moving in. That might be difficult to survive for this warrior. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see how Slaviour's next Marauder will handle things, and he probably needs to get away from there. Or he can get stuck up against that Warlock, who seems to have conveniently placed himself right next to a wall. And yes, Slaviour is going for it. Big mistake by Faro here, I feel. That's never a good thing. With these units, yeah, you want to seek the protection of places, but you really, really should try and put yourself in an open area so you can also disengage or flee, because you're dead meat when you're in these situations, and that's gonna be very expensive for Faro. That was a key thing to winning this game for him, darting back in and out of this kind of map where there are so many places to get and take damage. That was probably his key unit, and we shouldn't call it yet. He could still be able to disengage, but it doesn't look like it. And that was a very good move by Slaviour, and that could be a game-defining move. Yeah, we're still a little bit bummed out about lacking the sound. I hope this won't happen for the future broadcasts. It's something with Slaviour's setting, and he doesn't seem to have been able to figure out how to put the sound back on before the game started. So let's see what this warrior is planning. Oh yeah, he doesn't have too great of a hit chance. Going for it anyway. It's usually sometimes yes, you might want to disengage with a hero against a henchman, but usually when you're engaged with a henchman against a hero, what you really want is to go into a sort of stance and just wait for them to attack you, because a hero can never be tied up with a simple henchman. He has to power through, or he's just wasting his spot and his potential for doing damage. So just doing it like that, I have no idea what Pharaoh had in mind. He was using both of his attacks and then fleeing because he don't want to stay there, so he's giving up his position. He feels like that side of the match is lost, probably. But I don't know if I agree with that. Taking the damage, it seems unnecessary. He could just enter into a web of steel and kept those units in place while he killed this marauder and then later the brethren who is nearby. And then we also have a few dark souls nearby as well. Snow King's Decree, not that great of a spell. Not since they nerfed it. It's unlike the Witch Hunter's Trial of Pain, or indeed Bond of Ruin from no wait, Bond of Ruin. Unlike the Trial of Pain skill anyway, uh, which does pretty much the same thing. Whenever you attack, you take damage. Snow King's Decree has the drawback that it checks for a magic resistance check after each time someone attacks. So you have multiple chances to resist a spell. First you resist it forever on as it is casted, and then for each attack you get another magic resistance test, which means that it's not that great of a spell. Yes, it's cheap, but you're giving your opponent multiple tests, and if they have any decent kind of magic resistance, which Slaviour does, you saw that this Marauder in particular had Demon Soul, 25% magic resistance. It means that he is probably going to resist one or two of those and severely limiting the impact of that Snow King's Decree. It's not like the Snow King's Decree is going to stop him from killing the Warlock anyway. The Warlock is his biggest threat. It all depends on how lucky the Warlock can be now. Wow, that was a really good series of attacks here. Oh my, oh my. Good choice by Faro85. Seems like he's turning it around a bit. And freeing up his Warlock is gonna be really key here. He just have to watch out for that Brethren Archer. He's gonna be gunning for him. No doubt, because that's what I would do at least. So far we have 2 henchmen outright for Faro85 and the Marauder, a hero for Slaviour. No, wait, they haven't even killed that. No, it's 1 henchman for 85 and 1 hero for Slaviour. So a distinct advantage there, but another henchman is going to go down, and that Warlock is really, really hurting unless a few wounds left. So it's still a little bit of an advantage to Slaviour, I feel. But as long as your units are alive, that means that they can still produce damage. That's the most important part. He is using up the talisman very cleverly because he doesn't want Slaviour to pick up his consumables and use them against him, particularly from the Warlock. And that's a very valid strategy. It's something that you have to think about when you are actually picking what kind of consumables that you're gonna use for this kind of map. Or whatever choices you have made for the warband for your particular opponent. And Slaviour has lots of talismans, and that's a good choice. Whenever you face mercenaries, you know that there might be warlocks, and usually there are, and whenever you face, for example, Sisters of Sigmars, you know that there will be comets, so you can always prepare for that. Those are the 2 worst warbands to face when it comes to magic, and you always prepare for that. It's part of the meta right now. It has always been part of the meta. As long as we've had consumables, that is. That's probably going to be the death of the warlock. I wonder if the possessed with the use of exhaustion can probably get there and kill him. So I really don't see why Faro is. It seems like Faro made a big mistake there and he almost paid for it. Then he managed to salvage the situation and he puts himself right back into this situation. I really don't know why he's doing this. Let's see, how far away is he? Yeah, if Slaviour has attracting lure on that dark soul up there in the top, um, that means that he could potentially kill that warlock. Just use attracting lure, manage to get the warrior away from him, and then turn towards him. And he's gonna chase after that warrior who decided to flee. And why not? It's an easy kill, and you you really want to start working on that morale. There we go. He might move forward, see if he can sneak up on that ranged marksman hero. Or wherever he's deciding to go. Yeah, a little bit too far away. Ouch, that really hurt. That really hurt him. Yeah, he's not having much luck here, Slaviour. But let's see what he's aiming for. Is he aiming for a headshot in the distance? I would think so. 62% chance, that's not too much. Which would be 32 if he activates headshot. Alright, reload adrenaline rush. No, no other attack. Alright. Charging Lure is a good skill here, but he might switch weapon instead, and then he could use 2 attacks on the poor Warlock, maybe getting through once at least, because he only used a dodge stance and you can get 2 attacks if he has a secondary weapon. But it doesn't seem like he... Wow, that's lucky. 80% chance to succeed, and he did. Try to get closer to his own units, I suppose. You could use Adrenaline Rush here and make a shot at the Warlock. That's not gonna happen. At the very least, that Brethren is gonna be chased down, but it might draw some of his units more towards the center, which means they are closer to these guys and closer to taking damage from all of the green puddles of ooze in the center as well. It's like Slaviour is doing. But I think that Faro85 is gonna shoot that Brethren down. There we go. That's the third henchman going down for Faro85 compared to a single hero from Slaviour. But Slaviour's gonna be down one henchman here soon as well, most likely. But it's a tough, solid group, this, and if Faro85 plays it a little bit smart, he could pick off those opponents and then just back off because Slaviour doesn't have the range and he needs to get closer, and that could give Faro85 lots of chances to shoot at him time and time again and weaken up his opposition. But we will see how Faro plays this out. It seems to be an advantage to Slaviour, but I will say that I'm not really disliking the position that Faro85 is in right now. You see, you can get that Brethren, you can get that Dark Soul as well, and then he has another Brethren really close by that he could shoot at. I mean, they are exposed. You don't have to necessarily kill that Dark Soul because he can't move away anyway. Yeah, the Turic Elixir is not gonna be too useful here. It's, I guess, if you face more armor leads, then you could use the Etheric Elixir to take that away. But yeah, this is gonna be painful to watch. Slaviour take so much damage from the environment here. It doesn't seem to care too much though. I think this is a good move by Slaviour though. Despite taking all of the damage, just closing the gap as soon as possible while Faro85 might be focusing on finishing off the closest enemies that he has. That's exactly what Slaviour wants. He realized that he has absolutely no range and he needs to close the gap as soon as possible. Which begs the question why he moved the possess there though, but still. He seems to have made his mind up right now, at least. Yeah, good choice. And if you can, then you're going for the Warlock. Yes, you manage it. You're gonna get 2 attacks off the Warlock. That's really good. He does... Ah, he does have a single dodge stance, so... An adrenaline rush to inflict even more pain. Every single little bit of damage here is worth a lot. You want to get rid of this threat as soon as possible. Yeah, it's a little bit shame there because if Slaviour hadn't been too greedy on his brethren and equipped another bow in the secondary slots, or didn't have a secondary slot, he could have switched weapon and attacked twice and probably hit him because it's an easy thing to hit a warlock like that, and taken away the dodge, then the warlock would have been dead. I'm sure he regrets that. There, like, it's a good. Sometimes it seems like a good idea to, have 2 bows because you figure that if I ever get into melee, I can just use a tracking lure for Slaviour or for any other kind of ranged unit that I will try not to get them into melee, and if I do, they are toast anyway. But now, mm, not so much. It's very rare actually that you switch bows. And so, yeah, the stun here on another unit of Slaviours. That archer is really paying his weight in gold here. That was his second stun in the game. In his second turn, no less. So what's the plan now before most of the units here? He's pretty far away. Um, I'm sure he's thinking about if he can possibly reach the Warlock from here with a spell. Um, Looking to see, does he have anything movement enhancing? He does not. Well, it is a fair distance there, and you only have 6 movement, right? Yeah, taking more damage from the environment. Gonna do that twice, I guess. It's not that far away from the Warlock, but still a fair distance more to get there. Horrendous pain. That's open wounds. It means that he has 10% less chance to hit in both melee and ranged. And that's not good because he seems to be more of a melee character and less of a support character, even though he has all of those spells. Taking more and more damage. See, this is why you really don't want to get to the center. Yes, he's not taking the optimal routes here, but it still hurts a lot going through all of this. Hmm. Yeah, he could have used the Crimson Shade there. That's what I'm thinking. To maybe get. Uh, no, no. It wouldn't have mattered. The Warlock has too high initiative. He can't trump him anyway. Let's see what the captain here is up to. Looking to kill the Brethren then. Which is a little bit like what Slaviour actually wanted. Luring in his melee units closer to him. That parry cap, but he is also going to be a little bit exposed here to all of the melee units that are within range on Slaviour's next turn. And he didn't even finish him off, so he's gonna use the warrior, no doubt. Getting 2 individuals trapped in there. Notice how there's a lot of range for Faro85, and that really suits him with this map. Range is king here because it's so difficult to traverse the terrain. Even if you don't have a clear shot all the time, it's not too easy here. All right. What he wouldn't give for a firebomb on that Dark Soul. He would have slowly bled the Warlock to death, and being surrounded by a lot of characters, I'm sure he could hit 2 or 3 maybe, depending on where they are. Going for the Dark Soul as well then. We'll see if the warrior hero here can possibly kill him. Or if he will be tempted to go for the stunned brethren. That warrior we see in the middle of the screen here is probably thinking about it. At least it is a juicy target. It's a damaged brethren. He's less than half health, I believe, and going there and engaging him and killing it could be worth his time, and if he's gonna get stuck there in the middle of the area. And it could serve Faro85's game plan here too, because you really don't want to get stuck with a single henchman in the middle of the map while all of his range is outside. So Slaviour is going to want to move past that henchman anyway, so no fear of him being surrounded and killed. And if he is, it's worth it to make Slaviour spend all of his units in the center. So here we go, 65% hit chance, 3 more attacks left. I'm surprised he doesn't seem to be using overpower. That's one of the main tactics with warrior hero because of the great passive that they have, plus 20% hit chance after they've hit someone, which we see here, 85% hit chance, and it is 85 normally. Alright, so not taking the bait on the brethren there, focusing on gathering up his troops close together and preparing for Slaviour's charge that is coming in. And it's gonna be a little bit of a haphazard charge here because I think that Slaviour will only barely reach him with a unit or two and not much more than that. Definitely the Marauder, but the Possessed might not have enough movement, and definitely not the Doom Weaver as well. So see how crucial that Warlock has been, and always so close to dying, but not just quite yet. This means that Faro85 has now killed 1 hero and 2 henchmen, while Slaviour has killed 3 henchmen. Yeah, no idea what he was doing with that possessed, but imagine if he had moved the possessed up instead of moving him down. He could be within striking distance of at least the parry captain. Yeah, I think Slaviour is in dire straits here. Of course, there is no ambush from any unit on Faro's side, which means that you see the Marauder there, he has exhaustion, he has Cloud Feet. He will probably reach the Warlock because he didn't move too far. Yeah, just what he needs. Yeah, He's just cursing his luck right now. Trying to avoid the range. Moving in on the wagon. Alright. Yeah, don't want to waste any more HP. This person could go in for a suicide run against the Warlock. Will he do that? Will you do that? You could probably hit him. The Warlock is not too far away. If he has moved 2 blue dots, you might make it. Yeah, you can shoot a little farther than that too. See, the Warlock is over there. I will see what he does. Yeah, it's just a tiny little bit of damage. Trying to preserve him for now. Okay. And Radley. I see it's gonna be really tough. He's gonna have to suicide the Marauder, and then we will see how he can survive there. Especially with that Lads Got Talent marksman coming up, who seems to be having a little bit of a lucky streak here, stunning one enemy a turn. Of course, Slavery is not known for having too great of a critical resistance, but yeah, he's really afraid of his range here. Which is understandable, and that makes the Warlock so much more powerful because he can reach them even if they are trying to hide like this. It's much more difficult to hit them with ranged when it comes to bows, but he's trying to set up some kind of attack for the next turn. We'll see if he will actually move in with the Marauder. He might not even do that. But the Marauder will be exposed anyway. If it goes somewhere near where that Brethren died, or a little bit to the right of that, the Warlock can still reach him. Yeah, luck is really not with Slaviour at the moment. I wonder what he's thinking right now. What are you doing? Another damage spike here. Yeah, definitely going for the wagon, but I think it might be best actually if the possessed go for the wagon, because the possessed can pick it up, have more use of dodge, can benefit from the +3 movement because he has exhaustion, so he can probably get anywhere Slavey wants if he can just get to that wagon. Let's see what kind of pain this archer can inflict this time. I have to say, it's looking a little bit grim for Slaviour. He needs some kind of event to turn this around. The warlocks being dead would definitely suffice, and if he can tie down something like this ranged guy or the wolf priest maybe, he has a good chance of winning again. But right now it looks a little bit dangerous here, because what Faro85 could do is just back off with everything and let his range tell. Just protect him with all of the melee guys that he has, and then just... Alright. Are you gonna take the pot shot that your brethren was afraid to take? You have quite a bit of range with your spells. Will you try and reach the warlock? Or is he even thinking in those? He doesn't seem to be thinking of it, no? No, he seems to be conservatively locking the captain down instead. Yeah, good choice. Hope he gets this. He needs this. He needs the magic resistance. And he got it. Let's see what kind of horrible curse he suffers this time. Of course. That reduces his hit chance quite significantly. And because he has open wounds already, that's really hurting. Spiteful might be nice if you can target all of those 3 units. That will give the captain a big boost to his hit chance, and it will add damage to him every time he attacks. One thing that's often overlooked here with Idol of Change protecting your units like this is that the mercenary player can, wow, another one, can always just elect to shoot down the idol and then proceed to throw in all of the spells that they want. He already has Weapon of Destruction, he doesn't need it. What else? That Warlock is in a really good hiding spot, but it's gonna be interesting to see what the Possessed can do and where he leaves the Warlock next. Yeah, he has to beware of good spot. If he even touches that Idol of Change, his Weapon of Destruction is gonna get cancelled. So very important this. And Slicer as well, adding plus 9% hit chance. This could really pile up unless he's unlucky again. I have to say that Slavery is a little bit unlucky in this game, but we'll see if he can manage to pull through. It's all about surviving that bloody Warlock. And he seems to be out of talismans. Hmm. Not a big fan of that choice, really. He has he probably has 100% hit chance on the idol. He could just fire 2 shots at it, kill it, and then have the warlock being able to pull in the damage from the Doomweaver instead. Instead, he's electing to do a tiny bit of damage on the Doomweaver like this, and Not a big fan of that move. I think he is wasting his hero there a little bit. But he is making sure to move him far away, keeping the range advantage hidden and protected. Success on the solo alone check. He also has flare now, by the way, because of the Doomweaver's curses. And that's minus 35% hit chance, I believe. And the Magister is waiting to put off an order or something, I suppose. Really trying to focus down the Doomweaver. Insult and Madcaps, that's plus 25% chance together. Doesn't seem to help on the first attack, nor the second. Bit of a dilemma here. What do? Slicer pulls right through your parry, so if you go with parry stance here, it's only going to be effective against the Doomweaver, who is not really interested in attacking, more in casting spells as soon as the flare wears off. Supporting the captain, no doubt, with these units. Trying to focus down the Doomweaver. Or, well, the Doomweaver has the magic resistance, so he might be more interested in going for the Marauder here. And it seems like he's doing just that. Words on Horns and Anticipation are pretty good combo. Doesn't seem to be helping Slaviour anything right now, even though he has mastered Anticipation. As you can see, it's 11% that the hit chance decreases by. From 62 to 51. His movement 5 warriors, see what they can do. Getting stuck in with the Doomweaver, I suppose. Doomweaver is really terrible when it comes to psychology and all alone tests, and maybe he can capitalize on this here. Or he can try that way, yeah. Still no all alone check provoked to the Doomweaver, but I'm sure we will see one as the rest of the units come. If there's one concern about this, it's that he has two very vulnerable ranged units left without a defense to the upcoming Sneaky Possessed with Exhaustion. We will see how much movement he can pull out of that Possess, but if we can reach him on the next turn with something, it's gonna be really good for Slaviour. Particularly if we can catch the nasty Warlock. Yeah, he doesn't have too great of a critical. Good lord, that was amazingly lucky. Okay, you see that? 6% chance, and he did that 3 times in a row. 3 times in a row. Unbelievable. That's just, yeah, that's unbelievable. That was extremely lucky by Faro85. And Slaviour has all of the pressure on him. He needs to do something big in his upcoming turn after the Warlock has played, or he's probably going to lose this game. And with that, he's going to lose the first spot as well in the group. Yeah, as you can see, he doesn't have enough movement to get in on the action. Not that he would have much of a great chance of hitting that Marauder anyway. 24, 32 points. Slavy can lose 31 points more, which means that he can lose 2 more units, and then he has to take a route test. Yeah, that hurt. So close to killing that Warlock, and the amount of damage it has put out since then. Yeah, this is a decisive character for this game. Mind Eaten. Mind Eaten. Isn't that 5 rounds of no spellcasting? That means that this unit is pretty much useless. Probably for the rest of the game. It's almost the same as killing him. That's really good for Slaviour. Something to turn around. He knows that there will be no more magic damage coming that way. Yeah, that's really far away. But see, prevent spellcasting. 5 whole turns. Really, really good. Will the possessed move in on the action, or will he go for the wagon here? Probably wagon, no? Wagon, and then maybe exhaustion with the extra speed boost. He might actually make it to the ranged captain here. We will see. No, I mean the marksman. Use exhaustion. Use exhaustion. No, don't do that. You're gonna use exhaustion anyway. Use exhaustion. Yeah, and then you can move a tiny little bit more, and then you take the wagon. Good idea. Yeah, he might be able to reach him now. Would you go for the Warlock if you know that he has 5 rounds of no magic, or would you go for the ranged hero? I would definitely go for the ranged hero here if I were Slaviour. He's always a dangerous threat, and you can pull off a lot of damage on that unit. Yeah, you can reach him. You can definitely reach him. Of course, you might be able to just kill the Warlock as well. Let's see here. Yeah. Or will you focus on the Warlock? Are you tired of the Warlock? No, you're not. I think this is a good choice by Slaviour, actually. Let's see if we can be lucky and get a critical hit. He has been having bad luck in this department, so good lord, that's too much damage. I don't think that he will be. No, use the free dodge at least. Good lord, Slaviour, come on. What is gonna be the focus here? That ranged marksman, he's probably not going to be able to get away from the possessed, and he probably can't kill the possessed in a single turn either. And that captain might die here too. Let's see what kind of 21 plus 25, that's 46. That means that if this unit goes down, the captain that is, he loses 26 morale. That means that he only has to lose 19 more morale to take a route test, and that's a henchman. So Slaviour can still win this on a morale victory. And here comes the... Yeah, he's gonna try for Weapon of Destruction now. See if he can reach it while it's cheaper. No, he doesn't seem to be able to reach his Marauder, and then he's gonna just move up. Let's see if he's more lucky this time. Yeah, this is really not Slaviour's game when it comes to the luck department. But yeah, and then it's gonna be order time. Remember, he's still under the influence of Blood Offering, so the order is gonna hurt quite a bit. The only sad thing here is that it's randomized between the Wolf Priest and the Captain, and he really wants to hit the Captain. And he's not getting luck there either. Yeah, it's not Slaviour's lucky moment, this, but it's still a very even game. We have to say that Slaviour seems to be having the worst of it, but he can definitely turn it around, especially with the mine being eaten here. What is your objective? Like, I don't really get what that Dark Soul is all about. He's moving here and there. Okay, let's see. Are you remember that the warrior next to the idol there is in ambush mode, but no, none of the other ones are. Yeah, this could be good. He could actually, if he does enough damage, the Marauder might actually finish both of these, both the captain and unlucky, and the wolf priest. Gonna use adrenaline rush, I bet, just to pull in that extra little bit of damage. It could all help. See if he lands this. Yeah, he at least lands this. Triggering anticipation though, but we'll have to live through that. Yeah, failing the fear test doesn't do anything here. He's gonna disengage. See what kind of shots he can get in on the possessed or something, but or he might move for the marauder, but I don't think he's gonna do that. Trying to put down in as much damage as possible on the possessed before he goes down, and yeah, that's not happening on that shot. 2 more shots left. 140. I think the warlock is gonna try and melee the possessed here, because he is at least two-handed. Yeah, definitely gonna do that now. Definitely gonna do that now. 25% chance for that stun. That marksman is insane against Slaviour. He has the most luck ever. I won't say it's GG yet, Slaviour. If you can kill the captain here, you might have enough resilience to put off on a win. You just need to be able to reach him. Uh, yeah, they're not all useful, so yeah, it's still not gonna top him out of much here, but he really needs to hit now. He can't afford to miss any more attacks. He's been having troubles as of late, and that's just a nail. That hurts him so much. It's whenever you miss a blood offering like that, it really, really hurts. And now he's gonna try for an adrenaline rush in the hopes of killing him, and it would just fix this match right up if he misses this. And he doesn't. That's good at least. He has something going for him. Does he have a good stance? Defensive stance? Good. Very good. Remember, the Warlock can't come and kill him. He needs to hit him. So I wouldn't say it's GG yet. Alright. Yeah, there's a lot of Divine Rat fail. You're taking a really big risk here. You might explode, and that could have been the end of you. Wow. Well, that was gambling. Let's see what happens. Nothing. 50% chance to have something bad happen to you, and you succeed. So that's gonna be tough for Slaviour. He only has the possessed left, and the possessed is stunned. And right next to, yeah, the possessed is dead. Mm, he came very close though, Slaviour. Almost every single unit of, well, the most important units are pretty hurt. But it just wasn't enough. This is very much a ranged map, and could it have gone different if he had supported the other group instead of moving down to kill the henchman? Maybe, but it's easy to make that call right now, and not so easy to make it when you're actually playing. So plus 60 morale. Um, yeah, he needs 2 kills. Slaver needs 2 kills and managing to survive the route test here. Um, but his units are so far away, it seems impossible to be able to do that. He has a brethren archer, yes, but he needs to get a little bit closer and is actually managing to take a pot shot than at the warlock, for instance. Kill him, and then he has just one target left to go. But there are a lot of hero power left for Faro85. Adrenaline rush, no doubt. See if he can kill this guy off. Yes, he can. So no more pot shots as well. This doesn't decrease the chance of Slaver making the route test, but he has less options left now. Took a bit of a gamble with that wolf priest. You could have gone a 99999, and then he would be the one who would have been taking the route test, and then maybe he would have failed. Alright. What can you do, Slaviour? You have very few options. Yeah, you have that guy, and everything vulnerable is well out of range. Don't really get that Dark Soul, but taking more damage from the environment. You know, Faro85 has taken pretty much 0 damage from the environment, and Slaviour has taken yeah, at least 100 damage. I think it's more. I think it's more like 200 damage. Um, okay, so he doesn't seem confident that he can actually kill this guy. That's how I read into this. Otherwise, he wouldn't have done a chains. He would have done an order. An order and then switch weapons. No. Maybe he has a stance that they can use. Okay, but he has 100% chance to succeed at all alone check, so that's not gonna happen. But maybe you can kill him. It's not over yet. But you do have a very vulnerable Dark Soul there, and yeah, that Dark Soul will be focused down, and yeah, then he has to take another route test at 60% chance. Yeah. Yeah, you know, this is just funny. Um, yeah, he has really not have any luck here, but and 5 hit points left remaining, of course, naturally. That's just, you know, course for the day. Faro85 should be able to kill both of the Dark Souls at the very least now. Trying to look for a good shooting spot. Yeah, he's had enough lucky critical hits already. He's not gonna get any more, it seems. 31% chance there. I can't believe he's still trying that. He's gonna have, see, 20% chance to suffer Divine Wrath, and he's still going. Like, clearly he doesn't respect the deities here. He succeeded in that as well. Let's see what happens now. Are you gonna be punished? No, he's one lucky bastard. 50% chance again, and he succeeded. Yeah, now it's 87% chance he might finish this guy off before the hero comes in. Yep, he did. So that's another route test for Slaviour, who is running very low on units at the moment. And this is the real danger. Alright, he's going to go all the way around, going for the Magister. Not hitting anything so far. Parry is gone. And another one at plus 20% hit chance. Going in as well. And the Wolf Priest is gonna die if Slaviour makes his test. There's gonna be a Warlock, and then it's gonna be Slaviour after these two. But the problem for Slaviour is that he needs to kill one other unit to force a route test. And with just 2 more units left remaining stuck there, he's not gonna manage to do that. Unless he's incredibly lucky and it turns around for him. Maybe one of these units are a little bit hurt so that it's at least possible, we can see. Very nice, Kid Strike, minus 15% melee resistance. Gonna last for an entire turn. Alright, see if you can kill him. No! One more try. No! Adrenaline rush. You're gonna get him. Ah, come on. There you go. Yeah, so what's the HP left? Of course, you only need, let's see, 21, 24. Yeah, you need a hero kill. You need a hero kill. You can't just kill a henchman. You need a hero kill. Maybe you can disengage. Or if he makes a mistake and stays there with the marksman, the Magister could disengage and just go and run for that guy. But he has a little bit of HP left now, so yeah, it's really not a guarantee. And I don't think the Magister is gonna do too much damage to him. So if he still has like, what is it, 80 HP or something, yeah, that might be pushing it. could be done. He could use flee possibly if he manages his all alone test here. It's coming up. Yeah, success. 58. Yeah, that's a good spell, but yeah, he has a 50% chance to get the stun result, and of course he didn't even get that. So yeah, what can he do? And there you go. Magic resistance success as well, and 9999999. Yeah, that's exactly the kind of game that Slaviour really didn't want. That's too bad for him. Very unlucky. This will be very interesting to see what becomes of this group now. Faro85 has a clear advantage there. Um, and he will probably take home the group. Fire 1 or Slaviour. 8-5. We will tune in back for the next game and hope that we can get some sound going for that game specifically. Thank you for watching and goodbye.